Hey there, welcome to the 21 Day Fix Information Group, and I want to be your tour guide. I'm Terry Robinson, if you don't know who I am, and I want to welcome you here. If you know or follow me at all on my regular Facebook page, you'll know that I'm not always talking about these little containers, but I feel like I'm always thinking about these little plastic containers anyway. And I don't want it to like bombard anyone, but at the same time, I love them so much. I just want to share about them like all day long because they are truly have changed my thought process and thinking about the way I eat and what I do. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the 21 Day Fix plan. And mostly I want to tell you that right now because it's on sale for like a couple more days. So I want you to be able to take advantage and save yourself some money. Even though I think it's totally worth the non-sale price, but if you can save money, why not, right? So in the package, what you would get, I'm just going to cut right to the chase, is these containers. Now, all of the containers each represent a different category of food. Orange is the oils, blue is healthy fats, yellow is like your carbohydrates, red is protein, purple is fruit, and green is vegetables. Now they look kind of small, I know that, so don't get scared though. And in the booklet, you will get a booklet. The booklet looks like this. Also, 21 Day Fix Extreme is also on promotion right now. So it's good to start with 21 Day Fix, but then graduate and move on to 21 Day Fix Extreme if you're looking for something a little bit more challenging. But we'll talk specifically about 21 Day Fix in this video, but just know that there is 21 Day Fix Extreme. So even if you want to start right at Extreme, that's fine too. But they're pretty much the same exact way, except for just the food lists that are provided are a little bit more stringent in Extreme, and the workouts are a little bit harder. So in your booklet, there is a formula that will help you determine how many of each of these containers you eat. So you know you don't get to eat just one container each a day. That would totally not be enough food. So for example, I eat 4 greens, I eat 3 purples, I eat 4 to 5 reds. I would say 1 to potentially 2, but usually 1 orange, 1 blue, and 3 yellows. That's what I eat in any given day. And I can eat them in any combination that I want. So for example, if I'm eating breakfast, I always have oatmeal with fruit on it, and I have eggs with spinach. So spinach is one of my greens. My oatmeal is a yellow. My fruit with oatmeal on it is my purple, and then my 2 eggs is my red container. So I'm eating these 4 containers every morning for breakfast. So then, and there's many different ways that you can keep track of your containers. There's an app that you can use if you're like technology savvy, which I'm not, so I don't use an app. Or you can make yourself a chart. I'm seeing if I have my chart. So this is how I do it. I just write it down on a piece of paper, and then I write breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, and then I assign each container to a given time in the day, and then I eat those same containers at each time of the day, but I don't always put the same exact foods in them because that would be boring, right? Who wants to eat the same exact thing every day? Although I eat the same breakfast every day, but that's okay. So you can just do it that way. Or some people put little colored bracelets on their arm, and as they move them, then they put them over to this side. If you're more visual, they could do that. I've seen some people put all the different colored containers and crayons in one bowl, and then they move them to the other bowl. So it's up to you how you want to track it. There's a little chart even in the back of the book that you can use. You can make photocopies of it, and you can use to tally them off each day. So you just have to find what works for you. So in the package, in the program, comes the containers, and in the book, there's lists of foods for each category, each colored container that you're allowed to eat. So you can choose anything from that container. So that's why I like this program, and I think it's really cool because it's not a diet per se. You're not like limiting yourselves on food. They do teach you in there ways to incorporate snacks and wine. Now, I will say that the wine isn't much. It's only this little bit, but you can make it more. You can make a spritzer, or you can just choose that, if you're not going to be real stringent with it, you can say, I'm going to have a glass of wine, and that's just going to be the way it's going to be. But, and that's okay. But just know that you have to bring your thought process down to, okay, then my results aren't going to be as fast as someone who has not drinking the wine. And I'm not saying don't drink the wine at all, but it's your option. I don't drink too much alcohol at this point, but you know what I do love? I love cake. I love pizza. So I incorporate that into my day. So you just have to learn, as you go with experience, how you can incorporate it into your day. So it's not about a program that's taking anything away. I do go through days where I am 21 days focused, and I'm not going to cheat, and I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to have pizza, or I'm not going to have, and those are few and far between. Probably every 3 rounds of 21 Day Fix may I go back to that, but I'm really more on an 80%, 20%, 80% following the program, and 20% more living and like what would be considered in the everyday world a cheat. So that you can figure out for yourself. Also in the program, you get a set of workouts. There's 2 DVDs with the workouts on them. There's a booklet that provides to you the schedule of the workouts, so you don't have to guess about the workouts. You just follow the schedule. It's only 30 minutes a day in your home. You don't need much space. Only a light or a heavy dumbbell, probably a 5 and a 10-pound dumbbell would work fine for you. So that's what comes with it. And you also get a shaker bottle in addition to your containers, and you get to choose your flavor of Shakeology. You can get a bag, one big bag like this, and it has a scoop in there, and so 1 scoop counts as one of your red containers. So if you were going to make your Shakeology, and you can have your Shakeology any time of day you want, it just counts as one of your reds. I like mine after lunch, in between lunch and dinner. Some people like it for breakfast because they are busy. So you can add fruit to it. So that means if you're having Shakeology with your fruit, then that would count as a red and a purple. You can add peanut butter to it, and you get teaspoons of peanut butter, and that's all explained in the book. So you put them together. You can get a bag, like I said, or you can get a box of 24 individual packets if you want to have multiple flavors, if you don't want to get stuck with one flavor. There's vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, vegan chocolate, cafe latte, and did I say vanilla? Yeah. So, and there's greenberry, but I don't suggest anyone gets greenberry right off the bat. I mean, unless you really like berries. I like it, but I suggest getting the multi-flavor pack of chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate, cafe latte, and vanilla. So I love cafe latte. I don't even drink coffee, but I really like cafe latte. So you have that option. There's a Fix It cookbook. It doesn't come with the program, but you can add it. And I love this cookbook, and I think it's only like $20. And it's awesome because it has 101 different recipes in it, and they tell you exactly what containers it counts for on each recipe. So it's really awesome because you don't have to think. And I don't like thinking, and I don't like cooking. So that's good for me. Let me give you one more example of how you would use the containers, say for dinner. So if you're going to have tacos, right? So you're going to have tacos with corn tortillas. So 2 corn tortillas count as one of your yellow. If you're going to put, ground turkey, ground chicken, steak, fajita, whatever it is as your meat. So that counts as your red. Then you're going to use some avocado. Say you're going to cook it in, cook your chicken in oil. So then you're going to use your orange to cook for the oil, and then add some vegetables. Say you want spinach and green peppers and, salsa on your taco. So then here's your tacos. So if you're going to look it all out, your corn tortillas, your meat, your avocado, your oil, and your vegetable, you put them all together, and this is what you get. So usually for dinner, like I told you in my little chart, I allot for a red, a yellow, and a green in all of my dinners. So I can make that a vegetable, meat, and a carb, rice, sweet potatoes, whatever. So that's the cool thing about it. It's all regular food. Now, I think in color. I love having the plan. The plan is awesome because when I am running around all day, you know what I've noticed is before I started with this program, I noticed that I probably ate maybe one vegetable a day. And one vegetable a day isn't good enough. So now I'm able to track it better, knowing I'm trying to get 4 of these green containers in all day. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I don't get 4 because I really like vegetables, but it's hard to eat vegetables for me. I don't know why. It's, it's not something I do. But I just know that that's something that's a weakness for me. So I really love the program. I think in color. There's all different, Weight Watchers thinks in points. Foodies thinking, they just want the taste, and other people think in calories. Paleo, I don't know what they think. They think don't have any yellow. I don't know. But there's all different ways of thinking, but this gives you a plan to follow. And 30 minutes a day of exercise. You're getting in your daily dose of dense nutrition with your Shakeology. So it's just an all-around great package. It's like having a personal trainer and a personal nutritionist living inside your house for not nearly as much. I mean, you have to pay those people $50 an hour. So, and you have to travel to and from the gym, and you have to pay your gym membership. So having this all together in one bundle package is, is success guaranteed. So anyway, shoot me a message if you have some questions or, from this video, if I didn't answer any. That's kind of like the overview of what's included in your package. And I can help you get started with it. What I do is I help people sit down and make out their plan of action. Like I showed you my plan of action. We sit, and if I'm in person, we talk about it in person or over the phone if you're far away. And we come up with a plan of action for you and how and when you're going to fit your workouts in. And then I help you. I help motivate you, cheer you on. I'm there to ask you any questions. So I just want to help you get through it. Let me be your tour guide. All right. Have a good one. Bye.